Okay, let's talk about setting up the perfect craft studio. If you're a knitter or a crocheter, you know how much we obsess over things like lighting and yarn storage. But there's one huge surface in the room we almost always forget about. So we're going to break down why picking the right floor isn't just about looks, it's actually a super critical decision for your craft.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? You've put hours into a project, you're using that beautiful, delicate yarn, and then you feel it. That gut-wrenching pull. You stop, you check your needles, you check your chair, but the real enemy? It might be something way, way bigger.
Yep, that's right. The very surface that's under your feet can be the secret saboteur of your beautiful fiber projects. It's such an easy thing to just not even think about, but the wrong kind of floor can cause constant, low-level frustration. So let's talk about how to fix that.
So just how much does your floor really matter? I mean, it's just a floor, right? Well, let's get into all the hidden ways it can affect every single stitch you make.
A floor with even the tiniest imperfection can basically become a minefield for your yarn. You know, a little splinter in a wood floor can grab a delicate fiber like mohair and just wreck it. Or, when the humidity changes, wood planks can shrink, creating these little gaps that pinch your yarn. A rough surface can even cause your yarn to pill up before you're even done with the piece. And that's not even counting the black hole effect, where you drop a stitch marker and boof, it's just gone forever, swallowed by the floor texture.
All right, enough of the problems. Let's talk about the solutions. These are the flooring heroes, the good guys that are going to help you create a totally snag-free zone. You know, so you can actually focus on your stitches and not on potential disasters.
So you really have two main contenders here. On one side, you've got luxury vinyl. This is kind of the gold standard because it is just incredibly smooth. There are no natural knots or rough spots to catch anything, plus it's tough and super easy to clean. Then on the other side, you've got the comfort option, cork and linoleum. And let me tell you, if you spend hours on your feet blocking projects, the natural cushion these give you is an absolute game changer for your back and your knees. And as long as they're sealed right, they are wonderfully smooth.
Okay, so if you're thinking about going with vinyl, you have to know this one crucial term, the wear layer. It's basically the clear, protective top coat, and its thickness is measured in something called mils. You want a higher mil count. Why? Because that gives you a thicker, smoother, more durable surface that feels almost like glass. This is what's going to prevent those tiny, infuriating micro snags you get on really fine yarns.
Now that we know what works, let's flip it around and talk about what absolutely does not work. Welcome to the official no-go zone. These are the floors that might look great somewhere else in the house, but they are a total nightmare for a craft studio.
First up, high pile or shag carpet. I know, it seems so cozy and inviting, but trust me, it's a trap. The loops in the carpet will actively reach out and grab your yarn, and even worse, it will eat your tools. Any dropped a needle or stitch marker is just gone, vanished forever. Any floor that eats your tools is not your friend.
Next on the list is that really popular, rustic-looking hardwood. You know the kind, it's distressed or hand-scraped. And while it's super trendy, that beautiful texture is full of tiny little ridges. For a delicate mohair or silk yarn, those ridges act like a serrated knife, just pulling and tearing at all your hard work.
And finally, let's talk about unsealed concrete. That industrial look can be really cool, especially for a basement studio. But raw concrete is incredibly abrasive. It's basically like dragging your yarn across sandpaper. It will just wear down the fibers every single time your project happens to touch the floor. So if you do have concrete, it absolutely must be sealed with a good epoxy to make it a safe crafting surface.
Okay, so now you know the heroes and you know the villains. So, for the practical part, how do you walk into a showroom and pick out your new floor with total 100% confidence? Let me show you.
This is my all-time favorite tip. Forget just running your hand over a sample. Your fingers can't feel the tiny little burrs that are going to snag a lace-weight yarn. Instead, you're going to use the pantyhose test. The superfine mesh of a nylon stocking perfectly mimics delicate fibers. So you just rub it firmly over the sample. If it glides, you're golden. But if it catches, even once, that floor fails the test. It is a simple, foolproof way to know for sure.
And here are 3 key terms that will make you sound like you totally know what you're doing when you're shopping. First, ask about lippage. That's just the fancy word for the height difference between planks. You want that to be near 0 so you don't create a snag point. For edge type, you want a square edge. That way you avoid those little V-shaped grooves where yarn loves to get trapped. And for the finish, I highly recommend satin or matte. It cuts down on glare, which saves your eyes, and it's way better at hiding little scratches.
So, in the end, it all comes down to this. A smooth, reliable floor is literally the foundation of your creative space. It's what lets you lose yourself in the rhythm of your craft without that annoying frustration of snags or the panic of lost tools. It really is an investment in your own peace of mind and, honestly, in the quality of your work. Your craft deserves nothing less.